It's raining in Sydney today and it's supposed to be the middle of summer. So I thought this might be a good time to talk about how you can stay motivated to keep up your exercise routine. My first piece of advice is to, as much as you can, plan everything around your exercise routine. Because if you do that, then you're less likely to blow it off for something else that comes along. I have a specific time that I do exercise, which is usually at 7 a.m. So I plan to be starting by 7 a.m. every weekday. If I do some exercise at 7 a.m. every weekday, then I've achieved 100% of my goal. Do I always get there? No, not always. Now, the fallback to that plan is that I do my exercise at a different time of the day. So for example, if I'm taking my kids to school, I don't take my kids to school every day, but if I do that, then that means that, by the time I drop them off, it's 9 o'clock, get back to my place, it's 9:30 pretty much. Then before I actually do anything else, go home, start work, anything like that, I'll go to the gym and do my exercise that I'd planned to do for that day. And my second tip is, if you can, get away from your house. If I do exercise at home, I'm just more likely to slack off or not work very hard or just skip it altogether. And instead, if I have to actually get out of my house, so either go to a gym or go to a park or go somewhere, and you make that part of your routine, it just seems to have more stickability for me. So even though I only live 5 minutes from my friend Matt's place, and I'm going to do a boxing workout this morning with the VR goggles, I could have the VR goggles at home and I could do this boxing workout at home and I could save myself the drive. But it just doesn't work the same. So if you can get out of the house, well, that might be a solution for you if you're finding yourself not being able to stick with your program, or you're slacking off. Then just make it that your routine involves actually getting outside of your house. So the third thing is to build a ritual, but also build in flexibility. So if you've got a really rigid schedule that says, okay, well, I'm going to go on these particular days, at this particular time, we're going to do this particular exercise, and then a spanner gets thrown in the works and you just don't do anything at all, well, that's not really workable. So have something so that you've got some fallback positions if you need them. Because the goal is you've got to build the ritual and you've got to create a habit. And if that means that you exercise at a different time, like I said before, or you exercise for less time, or you do a different kind of exercise than what you were planning to do. Let's say you were planning to do weights, but for some reason you're not going to be able to do that, well, then do calisthenics exercises. Like, you can still do push-ups anywhere. You can still do air squats anywhere. You can probably find a place to hang to do chin-ups. Don't let the fact that you can't actually get to the gym stop you. And the same goes with the time. So sometimes I like to do a longer workout if I'm doing boxing, let's say 25 minutes. But if I had something in the way, like with regards to kids, or I've got a meeting or something like that, I might need to shorten that to 10 minutes. But it's better to shorten it to 10 minutes than it is to just say, okay, I've just got to skip it for today. Because if you skip it for one day, you'll skip it for 2 days. Next thing you know, you've gone 2 weeks, you haven't done anything. And it's absolutely critical for your health and for your body that you move. If you're in a lot of pain, or you're sick, you've got a cold, it's something like that, well, just scale down what you're doing. Now, if you are really ill and you just need a bed rest, well, then do that, obviously. But a lot of the time you might just be like, if you've got some sort of an injury or you're just not feeling the best, and then doing a high intensity workout, well, that's not going to be appropriate. But it doesn't mean you do nothing. You might just want to go for a really easy walk that day, just to loosen up the muscles, clear your mind, keep that habit in place. That's better than actually doing nothing. But I just want to reiterate, I'm not suggesting that you exercise when you are really ill. If you are really ill, then stay in bed, rest. That's the best thing for you. And the last and most important thing is, do something that you enjoy. You've got to move your body. You can't not move your body. And missed the turn off. So if you really hate going to the gym, but you really enjoy gardening, well, do gardening. If you really love doing boxing like I do, well, do boxing. Because if you do something that you enjoy, you are much more likely to stick with it. Having some sort of exercise or movement option that you really enjoy is a massive asset in terms of you being consistent. Now with Christmas coming up and the holidays, it can be tempting to skip your exercise. And you know, if you do end up skipping a day where you normally would do something, well, just pick it up the next day. Don't get down on yourself because of the fact that you missed one of your days. It's the same with your eating. If you end up eating something over the holidays that you would normally not eat and you'd prefer not to eat, well, don't, like I've said many times before, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Just start again the next day.